guys, my name is Victoria and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is probably one of the first, if not the first, video up on my channel. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about Accutane, and I actually made a list, so I'm going to go ahead and just cover some of the things. So I was kind of hesitant to make this video, but I realized that it might be helpful for some people. I know that when I was researching Accutane for myself, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I probably watched all of them. I read a lot of articles. I did a lot of research on the topic itself. So I'm hoping that this video will help someone, if not more than one person, make their decision about Accutane. So let's see, I haven't started it yet. I am in the process of starting it. It's a little barefaced today. I'm a little barefaced. I usually do not show my face without makeup, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get all up and close and personal. So let's do a little bit of background information first. So I've been seeing a dermatologist since 2012. I stopped doing my dermatology, stopped going to the dermatologist in 2017 because the dermatologist that I was seeing, he retired and I didn't really know who else to go to. He kind of knew a lot of my medical background and history, so it was easier for me to tell him medications I liked and didn't like, and it was a lot more comfortable. Trying to find a new dermatologist just kind of, I guess, freaked me out a little bit because I didn't know if they were going to know everything and how long it was going to take for them to understand my skin and everything. So I'll go a little bit further back. I have had cystic acne for as long as I can remember. I want to say probably in middle school, around 8th grade, I started having really bad cystic acne. I have tried a lot of things. When I say a lot of things, I mean everything under the sun. I've done home remedies, I've done prescribed medications, and I'll elaborate a little bit more. So I used to use a lot of facial creams. I wash my face a lot. I would use sea breeze, toners. I did go through a phase where I started using Proactive. Proactive did work. It helped clear up my skin, but it was kind of like crack for your skin, to me, it felt like. So it really helped take the acne away, but as soon as I stopped using it, all of the acne came back. It just came back worse, inflamed, just really sore and everything. So I stopped using Proactive completely. That's probably around the time that I went to see a dermatologist. So in 2012, I went to see a dermatologist and I kind of told him about the stuff that I was using. I used a lot of witch hazel. I used a lot of tea tree oil, a lot of aloe vera, face masks, just a lot of things. So he did tell me that he can prescribe some medication for me. So we started out using Retin-A. Retin-A is a very strong topical. It pretty much dries out your skin. If you're really oily, it will dry you out completely and make you flake a lot, but it does clear up your acne. It definitely helped me. It would dry out my skin. I'm very oily, super oily. I have to blot all the time. If I wear makeup, it'll look nice, and within a couple hours, I just look like a cake face. It's really bad. So he did prescribe me Retin-A, and then I was prescribed at the time also, let me check, spironolactone, clindamycin, doxycycline, and minocycline, and benzoyl peroxide. So those were the things that I was prescribed when I went to see a dermatologist. Now let me just say that the Retin-A worked a lot. The spironolactone and the clindamycin, they helped. I think if I'm not mistaken, one of them was a cream, the other one was just a topical. They worked. They cleared up my skin. As soon as my acne was cleared, I stopped using it. I assumed that once it was clear, I was good to go, be acne free. I went a couple of months without using the Retin-A, spironolactone, and clindamycin, and my face was good. After a few months, I broke out a lot. It was pretty bad. I went back to my dermatologist and I told him, you know, my face is clear, it was doing so good, I don't know what happened. And he kind of told me, well, are you still using those medications that I prescribed? And I told him no. I was like, my acne went away, I thought I was good to like get off of it. And he pretty much told me that I would have to be on these things pretty much the rest of my life if I wanted to be acne free. I think that just kind of set me back a little bit because I did not sign up for medication that I had to be on forever. You know, I was hoping it would just be a couple of months, I'd be good after. It's not something I want to throw into my daily routine. It definitely dried my skin out a lot. Like, I became so flaky that I couldn't wear makeup. If I did wear makeup, it would flake off, and like you would see, I would have like two-tone in my skin discoloration from like my normal skin and then the makeup color that I would have on. It made me really just dry. I had to put a lot of creams on, and obviously if you're wearing makeup, you cannot put lotion on top of makeup, so it just made me look really flaky and everything. So he prescribed me some oral antibiotics, and my stomach cannot tolerate it. I remember taking these when I was in college, and I would immediately have to like run out of a lecture or a classroom and I would throw up. It did not sit well with my stomach anyway. So I kind of stopped going to the dermatologist for a little bit after that. I decided to kind of just take a break from all of that, see if I can figure out maybe it was something I was eating, you know, see if I can figure out some home remedies or stuff like that. So I did stop going to the dermatologist in around 2017, I believe. I stopped for a couple of years. I want to say 2 years. And then recently, my face started breaking out this year. This is the worst that I have ever been. I've never had acne up here. It's usually always around my jawline and my chin. Now it's kind of just spreading. I mean, you can probably see I'm getting some up here. I get them in my eyebrows a lot. I mean, I get them in places I've never had acne before, on like my hips, on my feet, on, I don't know, my like thighs, just everywhere. So I decided this year to go and see a dermatologist. So in October, I believe, yes, September 1st, I went to see a dermatologist. This is my first time going back. I kind of just, you know, I called up the hospital, let them know I wanted to see a dermatologist, if there was anyone that they recommended. They recommended one specific dermatologist, and she was the soonest appointment I can get into, so I went ahead and made an appointment. So currently, you know, I'm not insured, I'm not employed, so I was paying out of pocket for these appointments. It was, I believe, $70 every appointment, and then depending on what they gave me as far as medications, I would have to pay out of pocket for those. So on September 1st, I had my first appointment since like 2 years ago, and I was super excited. I kind of already had the idea of like maybe ACCUTANE. I had no idea about this beforehand. I actually kind of saw a video on YouTube and went from there and noticed that a lot of these people had cystic acne like myself, and that ACCUTANE like cured them permanently. So I decided to see if I was eligible to be on ACCUTANE. So on September 1st, I went in. I explained to the MA there that I was looking to do this, so she went and consulted with the dermatologist. The dermatologist came in and, you know, asked me, she was like, oh, so I see you want to do ACCUTANE. She kind of looked at my skin and saw like my previous medical history, and she was like, you know what, like you would be a good candidate for ACCUTANE. So I got super excited. I went ahead and let her know, I was like, you know, I'm not insured, but I know that I can find the medication through like GoodRx. It's about $150 a month. And I let her know that like I wouldn't be able to afford it. Like I have, you know, my parents will help me out, some savings that I have. And she immediately just shut me down. She turned me down and said no. She was like, you know, it's super expensive if you don't have insurance. She's like, you're looking at about $20,000 out of pocket, to which I thought was a little bit way too high. Like, I know Accutane's expensive, but there's no way it's $20,000. So she started telling me that maybe we can go a different route and see if I could start with some topicals and ointments again, and hopefully that would help clear up this inflammation. I remember leaving that day with like a prescription that she mailed in somewhere to prescribe me medication. They would mail it to my house, and that was pretty much it. I kind of left. I was disappointed. I had estimated, you know, enough time of like this timeline I wanted to start Accutane. After watching like a lot of videos, people said like the best time to start it was in the fall. If you started it in the summer, it was kind of more intense because obviously the sun will like dry out your skin more. You'll get like sun blisters, stuff like that. So I decided to start it in the fall and go into winter, and especially since we're in quarantine right now, it was like a perfect time. So I remember leaving her office that day and I was just devastated. I didn't know what to do. I did not want to go back on ointments. I know that they didn't work for my skin. I just wasn't about it anymore. So as soon as I went home, I got on the phone. I called up the hospital again and requested a new dermatologist. I decided to go for an older male this time. I figured maybe he would have a little bit more leniency and kind of just move me along a little bit quicker. I felt like if, you know, going to a woman, they're always kind of like, you don't need it, we can try other things. Where I felt like, to me personally, I feel like a guy would just be like, well, I'm not a girl, so I don't know. You know, if she's tried these like medications before, maybe we can move her along in a different direction. So I made another appointment. I paid another $70 out of pocket for another appointment. And unfortunately, the appointment wasn't until October 27th. So I had almost 2 months of waiting. So I went into the dermatologist office on October 27th. I met with this new dermatologist and he came into the room with another, I guess, assistant. She's in training to be a dermatologist, and they were amazing. I immediately told them, you know, that I used to see a doctor that retired here, which he already knew him. I explained to him that I've tried everything from like, you know, ointments to oral antibiotics to home remedies to, you know, proactive and stuff like that. And he gave me the okay. He was like, we'll go over the stuff with you. He's like, I just want you to understand that like it's really severe. He's like, your skin, like he kind of saw the my skin that day. It looked a little bit worse than this. And he was like, oh, like I can tell, like, yeah, you do have some cystic acne. And he's like, but let's see what we can do. And I went in there and I was like, this is a good day. Like, I kind of thought this was going to happen. So I've been taking pictures every day for a month for 2 months actually, before I got here, so that you can see just how bad my skin was. Because of course, it's always how it goes. You make an appointment or something and then it gets closer to the date and voila, somehow it's miraculously fixed. So I showed him the pictures on my phone, which I will insert at the end of this video. And he was just like, yeah, I can see it's really painful. He's like, I can tell that it's really bad cystic acne. I mean, I had like a boil almost on the side of my face that was there for like 3 months. I would like pop it, drain it, and it would be flat, and then the very next day it would be filled up again. Like, it was just really bad. It was super painful. I kind of knew my acne was out of control this time around, because usually my acne, like, it hurts, but it's tolerable. These last few months, I mean, I've had such bad cystic acne on the bottom of my chin that like I usually curl up with a pillow and sleep at night and like have it under my like neck, and just having the pillow touch it, it was extremely painful. Like, I would have to literally like rip my skin to get to the pimples to like be able to drain them so that it would alleviate some of the pain. So, I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing to these, probably why it's scarred, but without actually like being able to drain them, it's sort of the touch. I can't do it. I can't deal with it. It hurts really bad. So yeah, so we talked about, well, I showed him the pictures. He understood completely, and he's like, you know what, like, I think you're good. So he went over like the severity of it. I told him I did a lot of research. I read a lot of articles. I watched a lot of videos. I understood the severity of the drug that he was about to prescribe. So, they kind of just went over things. I don't know if everybody's familiar with Accutane, but it is a very strong drug. It dries you out from the inside out. It's a drug that you're not allowed to get pregnant on. There's a lot of symptoms and side effects to it. I know that some of the most severe ones that they addressed to you, which they addressed to me, was like brain swelling. You'll get dry on the outside of your skin, extremely dry lips, achy joints. They told me birth defects. If you get pregnant on Accutane, your baby will have like missing limbs. There's like blackouts, just a lot of things. So I understood depression, I think, and suicidal thoughts were one. I did let them know that, I understand the severity. I'm in a place right now where I don't plan on having kids for a little bit. So like I felt that getting it now would be best for me, because it would give me a few years for it to really flush out of my system. I know they say it's like a month after you stop, but I want to just make sure. As well as like the suicidal thoughts, depression. I've never had any of that in the past, but I figured I live at home right now. So if there was any kind of mood change or like mood swings, I have family there that will kind of help bring me back, and not let me kind of go off track. And, if anything happens, they're there and they'll help me out. So I kind of felt that this was the time for me to do it. So I went ahead and started the process. So now that day I was supposed to get an iPledge book. I was supposed to do some blood work, a pregnancy test, and sign some paperwork, and then I think answer some questions online. It didn't go that smoothly. I was immediately told that they didn't have any pamphlets, any booklets, and because they didn't have those, I couldn't start that day. They also told me that I didn't need to do blood work that day, which I was prepared to do, because there was like a 7-day window that I was supposed to do all this stuff in before I would have to redo it. So like you have a 7-day window where you need to do the blood work, the pregnancy test, signing the iPledge, and I think getting the prescription. So because of that, they told me not to do it, and it became a little bit of a headache because they told me all this stuff. I didn't do the blood work that day. I went home, got a phone call the next day saying that I couldn't start the Accutane because I didn't take the blood work and the pregnancy test, and they needed that before they can assign me anything. So it was just kind of a big headache, and I found out later through iPledge that 7-day window didn't come until the second pregnancy test. So immediately, I think 2 days after that visit on October 27th, I got my blood work, I did the pregnancy test, it all came back good and negative. So I had to make a follow-up appointment, which I have coming up December 1st, and I will have to do another pregnancy test, more blood work, I believe, and then if everything goes well, I start Accutane on December 2nd. So I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm very happy that it's finally going to be cured. There's nothing wrong with having acne. There's nothing wrong with the way my skin looks, but it's painful. I can deal with the blemishes, obviously I'm walking out with no makeup, so most of the time I'm wearing a mask and it covers it, so it's fine, but it's just, the cystic acne just hurts. The pimples just really hurt. I'm super nervous, but I think I'm ready. I've seen a lot of videos of people that it's done wonders to. So yeah, I will keep you guys posted if you're curious about this. If you want me to make a video, you know, and kind of take you with me on my journey, I can do daily photos, I can do monthly photos, I can do weekly photos. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see, since I'm about to start it and I'm approaching that date. Let me know, this way I can have time to gather all the information, to start documenting things. But at the end of this video, I will put in all the photos. I'll try to do at least 1 or 2 from each week that I had it and how it just got worse, and you can kind of see the big inflammation and just the scarring and everything that goes along with it. So I'll add them right at the end, but please let me know in the comments down below if you've done Accutane, what I should kind of look out for. If you're about to start, let me know. This way maybe we can keep in touch and we can go through this together. Let me know if you want to see any photos, just things like that. And I hope to be back next month with a new video and taking you along with me on this journey. All right, bye guys.